like to start today's show off with a centerpiece that's been around the house since October 31st. I bought this pumpkin to share on this show today because I'm doing a lot of things with pumpkin. A friend of mine came over last night and decided to decorate it with poinsettias for this holiday season. So I thought this would be a neat way to begin the show because I start with pumpkin desserts and I'm ending with a neat poinsettia decoration. So stay tuned and watch what's going to happen. Okay, with pumpkin butterscotch scones, you start out with the dry ingredients first. Flour, sugar, and your baking powder, baking soda, and salt. Then take and just mix it lightly together, just until it's blended. Set it aside and take frozen butter. Grate it. It's really easy to grate frozen butter, by the way, and it comes out like little curls. There you got it. And you set it aside for just a minute and mix your liquids. Your liquids are 1 egg, 3 tablespoons of milk, and a teaspoon of vanilla. And just whisk that together. Then you want to add it to your mix. And just stir it lightly, just till it's blended. Then you put in canned pumpkin mix, your frozen butter. Oop. Pick it up anyway, even if you drop it. Make sure you get all that butter into the dish. And butterscotch chips. Now you just mix this together. Make a nice dough. Flour your board. There. There you have it. Make sure that it's really dry on top. That's still a little wet, so I add a little bit more flour. Make it 3/4 of an inch high, 7 to 8 inches wide. Good. There's 2 ways to do this. You can either cut circles or you can make pie slices. So whichever you prefer. And I just want to make some room for the tray so you'll see how that goes on. Good. I'll do a few of each so you'll see what they look like. Here's the rounded kind right there. Really works up very well. And then I'll show you the other way. You can do as many as you'd like. Usually I've gotten 4 on either side. This seems a little bigger, so I'm going to make it 5. When you put them in the oven, add some sugar. Just sprinkle a little sugar. But when they come out, if you'd like, you can decorate some with a confection of sugar frosting. I'll show you how I do that. And add a few pecans to the top. And there you have it. Now I'm going to pop this in the oven at 375 for approximately 15 to 17 minutes. And you see that there's a little bit left. I might be able to get 1 or 2 more round ones while we're at it. That. And this. Good. If you have a little bit left, want to roll it, press it, you got a mini scone. There. Okay? So I will take and I'll put that in the oven after I just sprinkle it. That's if you choose not to have any more toppings. This should be fine. And there you have it. Now, what I'd like to do is show you how to make the frosting mix so when it comes out, it'll be a good consistency. Now, we have confectioner sugar. Just a little bit more than a 1/2 cup will do. Then take a few teaspoons of water. A little bit of pumpkin spice, 1/2 teaspoon. And mix it all together. If it isn't the right consistency, you can always add a little bit more water or add a little bit more confectioner sugar, whichever is easier. I'm adding a touch more water to this. Now I'll just let it stand. If it starts to dry out a little bit, I'll just add a little bit more water before I frost the scones. But this is how it comes out. And then I'll add the chopped pecans. Try a few of the scones that have been previously baked. And you just take a little bit, spread it, and sprinkle. There you have it. This is a great breakfast treat for the holiday. I'll just do one more for the rounded scones. You don't have to overdo it with the frosting. Just add a few pecans. Because people are so conscious of nuts today, nut-free, this is great plain. Or just put a little pumpkin spice frosting topping like so. The next is another wonderful pumpkin item, and this is pumpkin whoopie pies. Now, pumpkin whoopie pies actually were popular in Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Amish country. And I'm just showing you that I'm taking the flour and I'm adding the cinnamon, the baking powder, the baking soda, and salt, putting it all in and just mixing it together. You know, I understand there's a legend in Amish country when either the farmers or the children found the whoopie pies in their lunchbox, they went, "Whoopie!" And that's how that's called, the whoopie pie. And I like that legend, so I thought I'd let you know that. So you just set this aside and you proceed with your sugars. So you have your brown and your white sugars, and you add them simultaneously into the bowl. Then you take a cup of oil, add it in, whisk it all together. Make sure you get those brown sugar chunks out. And that you shake off your whisk. There, so you get it all mixed in. Now you're going to add your flour mix. So I use a scoop, it's a lot easier for me, and just do it a little at a time. Just incorporate it into the sugars. And the rest you can just dump in. Now add your pumpkin fill. This is really easy because you're just really blending everything together till it's pretty good consistency. And here's 2 eggs. Add that in as well. And I'll take a teaspoon of vanilla. Seems like a teaspoon of vanilla goes in every good recipe. And you get it so that it's a nice creamy consistency. You know what I find, and I'm adding different sized whoopie pies. Some are tablespoon size and some are ice cream scoop size. When mixing this mix, it's much easier if you add the flour last, because then you incorporate and work in your sugars. I found I had a few lumps, and it would be easier the first way, and then the flour last, you wouldn't have those lumps. But I also like making huge ones. At this point, I'm just making small and medium, but have fun with it. These are delightful. We'll put it in 350-degree oven for 15 minutes. Want to make sure I have tops and bottoms for each one. So we'll get this in, and I'll show you how to make the filling too. I have a few here that are the little mini whoopie pies, and I actually have some pre-mixed filling that I made up for the show, but it's cream cheese, and there's some confectioner sugar, and you have a little bit of maple syrup, a little bit of vanilla, great consistency, butter, softened butter. Take a nice heaping clump And when you put the top on, it will ooze out. If you'd like to just put your finger around the edges to smooth it, that's fine too. But there you have your terrific pumpkin whoopie pie. And I'll do one more. Very, very easy filling recipe. Just make sure your cheese and butter are at room temperature. There you have it. This is the Maxi whoopie pie, and I think that there's someone over my shoulder who would like to have it. He's called my husband, and he really loves eating big. Now we're going on to our mango cranberry cookies. This is a terrific holiday cookie for everyone. And we start out with softened butter. So I usually take and try to break it up a little bit. And then add your sugars, your brown, and white, and blend. Add your eggs, 2 eggs, and again, teaspoon of vanilla. Take and blend your seasonings, your cinnamon, your salt, baking powder, baking soda in with the flour. Mix it together. Gradually add it to the cookie mix. And here's the good part, when you add all your little extras. And I just want to shut the blender off for a minute to show you something, because the recipe calls for frozen diced mango. You can buy this, I think, in the freezer section at your supermarket. But what I do is I purchase a mango, cut it up, and freeze it. I did put it in a little cup last night and froze it, and it was pretty hard, and I had to chop away at it. So I'm just telling you now, when you do freeze your diced fruit, it's best to use a Ziploc, a plastic bag, and if you notice, it'll come out just fine. So now we're adding our mango, and for this I'm going to stop, and I think I'll try a spoon or a spatula. I think it'll mix in much better. And the next ingredient is vanilla or white chips. Cranberries. And the last thing, and you really have to mix it in well, oatmeal. And if it's too difficult with a spoon, you might want to try it in your blender, but you try it on low speed because the oatmeal will fly up in your face. You don't want that to happen. If you want to, and I would do this in my kitchen, make like it's a piece of dough and get it all mixed in with your hands. And then you're sure to have it really blended well. This cookie can be eaten without any topping, but there is a lovely little white chocolate drizzle that I put on the top of it, and I'll show you that in a few minutes. But here we have it, and this is how it looks when you drop them on, like so. You bake it 350, 10 to 12 minutes, but I find that sometimes you have to leave it in for 15 minutes. Make sure it's brown on the underside. There you have it. And I'd like to show you, this is and I made small cookies. These are probably a little over a teaspoon. And then here is the drizzle, and I'm going to work on that right now. Here we are with the topping. And what I use is these white squares, 4 of them, microwave them for a minute, and then every 20 seconds if you have to. You might not have to do it more than 1 time on 20 seconds. But just see how easy it is. You put it in a little baggie and just drizzle back and forth. And there you have a very nice, decorative mango cranberry cookie. Offsets all the tartness in the cranberry. Want to make sure that you see it okay. So you can just start, lightly squeeze, drizzle, back and forth. There you have it. You can also do it right on the plate. Don't have to be fussy, as long as you give the bag just a light touch. You can also use a plastic baggie and just cut the corner of the bag, and that's fine too. I use one with a very thin nozzle, and there are your mango cranberry cookies. I would like to end this segment with an awesome topping that you can put on cakes for the holiday, or you can put them on cupcakes, or if, like me, you just want to have a decoration. It just so happens that this is 1 year old. I had some friends over, did a demo, and showed them how to make this. Just the other day, I had my 7-year-old grandson making them. So anyone, any age, can put this together. Now, my base is a dried, hardened marshmallow. You can use a soft one too. I just find it's easier to work with. So what you do first is you take frosting mix. You make your own with confectioner sugar and water, but still you can purchase. Some frosting, and then here it is, just put it on top. You take a piece of, and I use Winter Fresh gum because it's this beautiful light turquoise color, and you take and you snip it. You can snip it 3/4 of the way, 1 long piece, 1 short piece, and then you take, make sure your scissors are clean, or you get a special pair of kitchen scissors, cut them in the shape of a leaf, like so, and take your fingers and just gently fold the end and the tip to make it look like a leaf. I'll show you that in a small one. There you have it. Now, if you use older gum, what happens is it lightly cracks. Now, a few minutes before the show, I made these leaves. They're already hard. So just know that it's easier to work with it when it's pliable. See, that already split just a little bit. But make sure that your gum is very soft. And take, if you want, a big one, because I use 8 to 10 petals. A few large, a few medium, and some small. And you just, again, lightly bend, squeeze. I find that young children's fingers, my grandson did a terrific job because his fingers are so nice and small. Now you take and you start adding the pieces into the frosting. Just very gently. You might, as it starts to dry, you might find that you'll want to just prop it up a little bit. Like this one is lifted up a little bit. But otherwise, just keep going around. You noticed I did the larger ones on the bottom. And because I'm holding it, it's moving a little bit more than normal, but I want you to get the idea. Then you have the smaller ones, and if it breaks, again, find a tip that's good and push it in. This. And as it's getting more petals on the marshmallow, I am going to need to just place it to show you what I do from here, okay? The next thing you do, you want to have a little centerpiece. I find that I picked up some sunflower seeds, and I'll pick some darker ones so that you can really see them. There's a pink, a brown, and well, I've got a lime yellowy one. I think you can see that one fairly well. Get crystallized sugar. It's usually found in a bakery at a supermarket. And just take and sprinkle the centers, especially where the frosting has oozed up. And if there's any other frosting, you might want to add a little bit in between the petals. You can add that crystalline look. And there you have it. If you want, and you don't necessarily have to put it on a marshmallow, you can just take a big clump of your frosting, put it on a cupcake, and add the poinsettia. How's that for a nice treat? So here you have it. You have your pumpkin desserts, your mango cranberry cookies, and now your poinsettias, so that my friend over here, my pumpkin friend, can also come over and wish you a happy holiday season. See you next time.